If Salman Abedi had had his way, Monica Calvo wouldn't have been here today. She was fortunate enough to escape the carnage as he blew himself up.
I realized later when I got home that people had lost their lives and that many people were injured. And I realized how lucky I was that I was alive and I was safe and I wasn't injured or anything. So I was really lucky.
What are your feelings towards the bomber?
I just don't have words. I could say a lot of things, but it's awful. It's something you can explain. It's awful.
But how did an apparently normal, football-loving teenager develop into a mass murderer by the time he was 22? His neighbours in South Manchester are as mystified as they are appalled.
One of those guys that kept himself to himself, really. He had an Arabic flag on his roof of his house. That was like a year or two ago that he had that.
He don't have a heart in his chest, in his body. It's just very, very painful for everybody.
So what do we know about him? The 22-year-old was from Manchester, one of 4 children born to Libyan parents. He studied business at nearby Salford University, but dropped out after 2 years. He's believed to have been to Libya recently, returning just weeks before the attack. He was known to the security services, but wasn't part of any active investigation. So why, if Abedi was known to the authorities, was he able to live here unhindered to the extent he could plot an act of terrorism? Well, the problem for the security agencies is they have hundreds of people on their radar at any given time, and they can't keep them all under surveillance. They simply haven't got the resources. Abedi just wasn't considered a priority. Some experts think the police and intelligence services are putting too many suspects on watch lists to be able to properly investigate them all.
Then what you essentially do is you cast the net so wide that everybody becomes a suspect, and it therefore becomes even harder for you to actually investigate and allocate resources to those individuals whom you should be allocating resources to.
But perhaps the most important question of all is who, if anyone, helped Abedi carry out his attack. Until the police know the answer, this city and the UK as a whole will remain on high alert.